Hello and good afternoon friends, welcome to CEC EduSec live lecture. Dear friends, I would like to tell you that from today onwards, we are going to start a very new series in the subject of botany. In future lectures also, we would be continuing this very series and the name of the series is a diversity of plants. That is, we are going to conduct n number of lectures on this very topic. So this is the first day. We are going to discuss about the basic things. It is generally an introduction where we will discuss about the various groups of plants, their classification, and in future lectures we will take a particular group. So dear friends, for this we have with us in our studios Dr. Suresh Kumar. He is Assistant Professor in Department of Botany, Ramjas College, Delhi University. So first of all, I would like to welcome our guest Dr. Suresh Kumar. Dr. Kumar, welcome to the EduSec lecture. As we have discussed also, and we are carrying with these series also. So what are we going to discuss in this particular series?
Thank you, Geetika ji. We are going to start the new series of lecture, that is the diversity of plants. As you are aware, the diversity of living world, it is occurrence of variety of life forms, differing in morphology, size, color, anatomy, habitats and habit. Each different kind of plants, animals and organism represents a species. Means the variety of species in a given area is the diversity of living world. Diversity of plants. Today we will discuss only the diversity of plants, means the occurrence of variety of life forms differing in morphology, size, color, anatomy, habitats and habit of plants. Currently there are some 1.7 to 1.8 millions of living organisms known to science. Out of these, 1.25 millions are animals and approximately 0.5 are plants. Depending upon the type of system of classification, organisms are classified into 2 kingdom classification, 3 kingdom classification, 4 kingdom classification and 5 kingdom classification. 2 kingdom classification. In the past, all the organisms had been divided into 2 groups on the basis of presence and absence of the cell. As you know, the cell wall is present only in the plants and absent in animals. This was also done by Linnaeus. Linnaeus, who is known as the father of taxonomy, he founded 2 kingdoms, Plantae and Animae. 3 kingdom classification. Haeckel's 1866 separated unicellular animals, algae and fungi from other organisms on the basis of like tissue differentiation. The new group was called kingdom Protista. Later on, fungi and multicellular algae were taken out from the group, so the kingdom Protista came to have only unicellular organism. 4 kingdom classification. With the advent of electron microscope, it became clear that bacteria and other relative organisms have a different nuclear structure as compared to the others. They are prokaryotes in contrast to the others which have a true nucleus and are eukaryotes. Copeland 1956 create a separate group known as Monera. 5 kingdom classification. R.H. Whitaker 1969, an American taxonomist, divides all organisms into 5 kingdoms. As the viruses are on the borderline of living and non-living things, they have been left out, and 5 criteria for delimiting the kingdoms are complexity of cell structure, that is the prokaryote and eukaryote, complexity of body structure, that is unicellular and multicellular. The next point is mode of nutrition, means the autotrophic, heterotrophic and saprotrophic. Then ecological lifestyle, means the organism is producer, consumer or decomposer. And the last point is the phylogenetic relationship. Whitaker divide these groups into 5: Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi and Animae. Basically, two fundamental different types of cells are, as I told you, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotes are the Monera, or we can say the Moneras are the prokaryotes, and Protista are eukaryotes. No doubt others are also eukaryote. This is the picture showing the 5 kingdom classification. Same, the Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi and Animae. Monera, the kingdom of prokaryotes. They are basically unicellular, as the meaning of the monos is single. Prokaryotes and contain most primitive of living forms. They are varied in their nutrition as saprophytic, parasitic, chemotrophic, photoautotrophic, including aerobic and anaerobic, and symbiotic. Basically, the parasite means which is depend upon the others for their food or absorb the food material from the other living material, other living organism. Saprophytic, which take their food from the death and decay material. Chemophotosynthetic means photosynthetic and chemosynthetic is slightly different. In case of the photosynthetic, the plant produce the food material with the help of the chlorophyll, and in case of the chemoautotrophic, some bacteria are able to produce the food with the help of some chemicals. The cells are microscopic. The measurement of the cells is 0.1 to few micron in length. Cell wall is generally present and it contains peptidoglycan and polysaccharides other than cellulose. Incipient nucleus, basically the meaning of the incipient nucleus means the nucleus are not so fully developed, means it is not covered by the nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. It is also known as the nucleoid, means DNA is scattered without any envelope. DNA is naked without the histone protein. Double membrane bound organelles are absent, like chloroplast, mitochondria, all these are the double membrane bound organelles. Mitotic spindles are absent. As you are aware, the division are of generally two types, mitotic and meiotic, and in mitotic division the spindle formation takes place. Then 9+2 arrangement of flagella is absent. It includes, next is the Protista. Protista is the kingdom of the eukaryotes. Eukaryotes includes unicellular and colonial eukaryotes. Mostly they are aquatic organisms forming plankton, for example phytoplankton and zooplankton. Diverse mode of nutrition, as in case of the prokaryotic means the Monera, it is also having the different kind of mode of nutrition, that is photosynthetic, saprobic, parasitic, ingestive and holozoic. There is a group of Euglena like organisms which have dual mode of nutrition, that is holozoic and the photosynthetic. Slime mold are intermediate between wall-less and walled organism. Well-defined nucleus is present, means nucleus is having its own envelope, that is nuclear membrane. This is the major difference in between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. DNA is associated with the histone protein. Double membrane bound organelles are present. 9+2 organization of microtubules are present in flagella and are composed of tubulin protein. Both sexual and asexual mode of reproduction are present. Tissue system is absent. The next is fungi. Fungi is also known as kingdom of multicellular decomposers because it also decomposes the organic substance into inorganic. Fungi are achlorophyllous. Achlorophyllous means chlorophyll is absent. Spore producing, they are able to produce the spore which helps in the reproduction. Multicellular means the body is made up of the so many cells. Multinucleate and eukaryotic organism. Multinucleate means it may be the in one cell so many nuclei are present, and multinucleate condition may be septate or aseptate. Sometimes this unicellular structure or the filamentous fungi is known as the hypha. Hypha is septate or aseptate. If the septa is present in between the cells, that is known as the septate. If it is not present, that is the aseptate condition. And in some cases, the multinucleate condition is present without the septa. That condition is known as the cenocytic condition. Unicellular yeast are also included in the fungi because of their sexual reproduction, which is similar to the fungi. Heterotrophic type of nutrition, that is saprophytic, parasitic and symbiotic. Normally fungi are grow on the death and decay organic matter, and it absorbs the food material from the organic death and decay matter. That is known as the saprophytic. And parasitic, if it takes the food from the other living organism, that is the parasite, and harms to the host. Host is the plant or other organism from which the fungi take the food. Symbiotic means when both get the benefit. The best example of the symbiosis or symbiotic relationship is the lichen. Lichen is the combination of the algae and fungi. Algae provide the food to the fungi, and fungi provide the water and minerals to the algae. The filamentous fungal body is called mycelium. Single filament is known as hyphae. The wall contains chitin and non-cellulosic polysaccharides. Vegetative body or the mycelium is not clear in most of the cases due to subterranean nature. Reproductive body are, however, apparent in mushroom, puffballs and bracket fungi. The tissue differentiation are absent. It is not differentiated into different type of tissue system. Food reserve material is glycan and fat. If we see the reproductive part of the fungi, reproductive part, fungi can reproduce vegetatively, asexual and sexually. Vegetative means from the vegetative part of the plant, and asexual means without the gametic fusion, and sexual reproduction means with the gametic fusion. The next kingdom is the plantae. Plants are also known as the kingdom of the producer. Here the word producer meaning the who is able to produce something, and something means the food. Only the green plants are able to produce the food. That's why it is known as the producer. In the similar way, when we see the film, there is a film producer. And who is the film producer? Film producer is the person who are able to produce the film. In the similar manner, plants are producer, or we can say the food producer, because only the green plant are able to produce the food with the help of the photosynthesis. Plants are multicellular and eukaryotic. Eukaryotic, the same meaning, the two nuclei are present in the plant. Cell wall are the major difference in between the plantae and the animae. Cell wall is present in case of the plantae and absent in case of the animae. Growth is usually indefinite in case of the plant and from the apex region. Then autotrophic, the similar meaning of the autotrophic is the plants are able to produce, means the self-dependent. The plastid and the large central vacuole present. Structurally, differentiation into tissue is found except the algae. Food reserve material is starch and fat. Some of the plants are heterotrophic. They are mostly parasite and few are saprophyte. For example, the Cuscuta reflexa, commonly known as amarbale, a small group of plant catch the small animals and insect for obtaining extra nitrogen and called carnivores or insectivorous plants. For example, the pitcher plant. Both sexual and asexual reproduction are present in case of the plantae. Body forms is less regular. Organs are commonly external and centrioles are absent. Next kingdom is the Animalia. Animalia is also known as kingdom of consumer. From the ecological point of view, in the food chain, there is a 3-4 steps are in the food chain. One is the producer. As I told you, the producers are always green plant and consumers are animals. Consumers can be categorized into different category, primary, secondary and tertiary, even then the top level of consumer. Then the decomposers. So we have already discussed the decomposers, the kingdom of the decomposers, that is the fungi, and the producer, kingdom of the producers are plantae, and the kingdom of consumers are animals. Animals are also multicellular eukaryotic organism, and the body forms are regular, organs are internal, growth is definite. If you compare the plant and animal, plant's growth is indefinite. It can grow up to the death, but animals' growth are limited and well-defined growing point are absent as in case of the plants. As you are aware, the plants are generally grow from the apex region. The cellular, tissue and organ system level of organization occur in different groups. Response to stimuli. A cell does not possess central vacuole. Instead of large central vacuole, so many small vacuoles may present in the animal cell. Cell wall are absent. Plastid and photosynthetic pigment are absent. Holozoic or ingestive type of nutrition, except few are parasite and lived inside the body of others, as the worms are inside the human being. Muscle cells for mobility and the nerve cells are conduction of impulses. Sexual reproductions are the most primitive, most dominant, only the sexual reproduction is present in case of the animals. Regeneration and formation of spores are found in lower animals. Economically, animals are consumer, embryo stage are present. It is difficult to imagine the land without any plants and other organisms. For more than first 3 billion years of Earth history, the terrestrial surface was lifeless. Since colonizing land, plants have diversified into roughly 29000 living species. The plant kingdom, this is the classification of Eichler. It divides the plant kingdom into two groups, cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams are non-seeded plant, whereas the phanerogams are seeded plants. Cryptogams are again categorized into three different groups. One is Thallophyta, another is Bryophyta, third one is Pteridophyta. The Thallophyta means the plant body is thallus-like. It is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Thallophyta again categorized into basically two, but sometimes in three groups. One is algae, another is fungi and third one is lichen. The bryophytes are, when we see the evolutionary trend, the evolution of plants are started from the algae, and the second group is the bryophyte. Bryophyte are also the thalloid structure and categorized into two major groups. One is the liverworts, another is the mosses. Liverworts are the primitive bryophytes in which the plant body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves, whereas in case of the mosses, no doubt plant body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves, but it is differentiated into root-like structure which absorb the water from the soil and give the strength to the plant, that is rhizoid and central axis and leafy appendage. So if you see the plant, it looks like the differentiation in between the plant body, means root, stem and leaves, but it's not the true root and the true leaf. The third is the pteridophyte. Pteridophyte is basically the first vascular plant, means vascular bundles are started from this particular group. Before that, means in case of the algae and fungi, the vascular tissues are absent. Vascular tissues are started with this pteridophyte. That's why pteridophyte is known as the first vascular cryptogam. The major difference in between the bryophyte and pteridophyte, the bryophyte is having the gametophytic plant body, whereas the sporophyte having the sporophytic plant body. Means in case of the bryophyte, the gametophytic plant body is dominating over the sporophyte, and in case of pteridophyte, sporophytic phase is dominate over the gametophyte. The next group is gymnosperm. Gymnosperm is the higher plant or the seeded plant. The seeds are naked, and the angiosperm is covered seeded plant. Now we will go one by one to discuss the small characteristics of the groups. Again, in this chart you can see the angiosperms are also categorized into two groups, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Algae is the first group, comes under the Thallophyta. Thallophyta means the thalloid plant body, not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Chlorophyllous plant, chlorophyll is present. Autotrophic, algae are able to produce the food by the process of photosynthesis. They occur in variety of habitat, but majority of them are aquatic, but sometimes some algae are terrestrial and some are found in a special habitat. Sex organs are unicellular without a jacket of sterile cells. Progressive complexity in reproduction. No embryo formation after the gametic union. Distinct alternation of generation. Alternation of generation, basically the gametophytic phase and sporophytic phase comes alternate to each other. That's why it is not an alternation of generation. As we told, this is a series of lectures. We will discuss the alternation of generation of the algae and the coming sessions. These are the few plants, that's the Oedogonium and the Chlorella. These are the algae. Fungi, as we have discussed, the fungi is the achlorophyllous, spore producing, multicellular, multinucleate, eukaryotic organism. Unicellular yeast are also included in the fungi because their sexual reproduction. Heterotrophic type of nutrition, that is saprophytic, parasitic and symbiotic. Sometimes facultative saprophytic and facultative parasitic condition is also there. Filamentous fungal body is also known as mycelium and single filament is known as hypha. Hypha may be the uninucleate, binucleate, multinucleate, cenocytic, septate, aseptate. The wall contains chitin and non-cellulose polysaccharides. Vegetative body or mycelium is not clear in most of the cases due to its nature. Reproductive body are, however, apparent in mushroom, puffballs, bracket fungi. Tissue differentiation are absent. Food reserve material is glycogen and fat. Bryophyte, as I told you, bryophyte are categorized into two categories. One is the liverwort, another is the mosses. The liverworts are basically the prostrate plant or dorsiventral plants, means the having the dorsal surface and the ventral surface. Dorsal surface is generally smooth, whereas ventral surface is rough. On the dorsal surface, prominent midrib is present in most of the cases, and some special kind of structure is also present as gamma cup in case of the Markensia, which helps in the vegetative reproduction. The dominant gametophytic generation, as I told you, the gametophytic phase is prominent in case of the bryophyte, whereas in case of the pteridophyte, its sporophytic is dominant over the gametophyte. Also includes the liverworts and hornworts. Basically, the hornworts are the anthoceros. The sporophyte looks like the horn, as the two horns are present on the thallus. Otherwise, it is almost similar to the liverwort. Same dorsiventral surface is there. On the dorsal surface, it is a smooth. Ventral surface, the rhizoids and the scales are present. The main function of the rhizoids is fixation and absorption of the water, whereas the special structure, the scales is also present in case of the liverworts. The scales are found sometimes in the marginal region, sometimes in the midrib region, and it protects from the plant, protect from the other things to the, or give the protection to the plant. And the scales is generally violet in color, having the pigment anthocyanin. The needs sperm is fertilized to egg. No vascular tissue, limits the height of the plants and therefore have no true root, stem and leaves. I have already discussed it started with the mosses, but not the true root, stem and leaves. Instead of root, there is a thread-like structure. The work is the same but known as the rhizoids. Haploid spores are made up by the meiosis in sporangium of sporophyte. When we talk about the something internal structure of the liverworts, internal structure is also divided into two groups. One is the photosynthetic, another is the storage region. In photosynthetic region, there is the photosynthetic filaments and photosynthetic tissues are present. Some other bryophytes, if you are see the picture, there is a gamma cup is present in the liverworts. That plant is the Markensia, and in another side there is the hornwort. Antheridia and Archegonia. Antheridia and Archegonia are the male and female reproductive structure or male and female gametophyte. With the help of the water, male gametophyte, from the male gametophyte, anthrozoid goes to the this Archegonia and fuse with the egg cell and form the diploid zygote. Next group is the pteridophyte. Pteridophyte, as I earlier told, pteridophyte start with the vascular plants, vascular tissue. That's why it is known as the first vascular cryptogams or first vascular plants. The plant body is sporophytic and differentiated into root, stem and leaves. On the basis of the leaf, the plant may be microphyllous or megaphyllous. Microphyllous means the leaves are small, whereas stem are large. In another way, the megaphyllous means the leaves are large, whereas stem are small. As in case of the fern, you see the structure of the fern, the leaves are large, whereas the stem is very small. In case of the equisetum, you will find out that small scaly leaves are there on the nodal region and the stem are large and green in color, which is able to produce the food by the process of the photosynthesis. Vascular tissue but no seed. Seed formation doesn't take place in case of the pteridophyte. As I earlier told, in case of the Eichler classification, the cryptogams and the phanerogams are divided only on the basis of the seed formation plant and non-seed formation plant. The spores marking sporangia on underside of fronds when reproducing. The homosporous and the heterosporous means the same type of spores are present. Heterosporous means different type of spores, means microspore and megaspores are present. You are seeing the picture of the fern. There is a circinate vernation. When the leaf are young in stage, it is infolded, margins are also unfolded inside and leaves are also unfolded from top to bottom, and when it mature, it's open from bottom to the top and the marginal region. This kind of venation is known as circinate venation, and it is the characteristic of the pteridophyte and some gymnosperms like Cycas. Gymnosperm, as you know, the name gymnosperm are made up of the two Greek word gymno plus sperm. Gymno means naked and sperm means seed. Means the plants bears the naked seed is known as gymnosperm. Gymnosperm have the seed but no flower. Seeds, cones versus pollen grains means the reproductive structure are specialized in a cone-like structure. Male and female cone are formed in most of the cases, but in some cases, as in case of the Cycas, female cone formation does not take place in the plant. So in that case, megasporophyll are loosely arranged on the apex region. The plants are sporophytic in plant body and differentiated into root, stem and leaves, and root system is tap root system. Then different type of associations are also with the gymnosperm, as in case of the cycas, the fungi is associated, algae, fungi and bacteria is also associated with the root of the cycas. As you know, the cycas is having the two different kind of root, one is normal root, another is coralloid root. So in case of the coralloid root, the algal zone is present, and algae is the blue-green algae which is present inside the coralloid root in association of symbiosis, means the both get the benefit. And the two different kind of leaves are also present in case of the gymnosperm. One is the foliage leaves, another is the scaly leaves. The work of the foliage leaves is the photosynthesis, whereas the work of the scaly leaves is the protection. Then wood of the gymnosperm is used in the timber. Some special structure known as the cone is also present on the apex region, and in some cases the female cone is present in the lateral region of the stem, that is the in case of the pinus. Some specialized structure, the winged seed is also present in case of the pinus. Polyembryony is also found in the pinus. If you see the picture, there is a redwood plant, that is the tallest plant, and the height of this plant is 400 feet, and the oldest plant is the pine, you can see in the picture. Now the angiosperm, as you know, the angiosperm means, angio means covered, sperm means seed. The plants bearing the covered seed is known as angiosperm. If you see the picture, the angiosperm is the flowering plant. It has the seed and flower. Flower is having different part. The major parts are calyx, corolla, androcium and gynocium. Out of 4, 2 are accessory part and 2 are necessary part. Calyx and corolla are accessory part, whereas the androcium and gynocium is necessary part. As you know, all the living things are made up of the unit. In the similar manner, the flower part are also having the unit. Sepal is the unit of calyx, petal is the unit of corolla, stamen is the unit of androcium, carpel is the unit of gynocium. Sometimes sepal and petals are not distinct. At that time, the term is used perianth, and the unit of perianth is tepal. So in case of the angiosperm, angiosperm is the most advanced plant. When we see the difference between the angiosperm and the gymnosperm, the major difference is gymnosperm having the seed but not the flower, whereas in case of this angiosperm having the flower also. When we see the internal structure, the major difference in between the gymno and angio in the conducting tissue or vascular tissue, that is the xylem and phloem. The xylem is the complex tissue made up of the different tissue, and same the phloem is also composed of the different type of the tissue. In case of the gymnosperms, vessels and companion cells are absent, whereas in case of the angiosperm, vessels and other three parts are present. That's why it is the advanced group of plants, except the genera, or we can say the order Nettles. In case of the Nettles, vessels are present. When you see this structure, I am talking about the covered seed. The androcium and gynoecium both are differentiated into three different parts. Androcium is differentiated into anther, filament and connective. In the similar manner, the gynoecium is differentiated into stigma, style and ovary. The ovary is the swallowed part and the fertile part. The stigma is receptacle which receive the pollen grains from the anther, and the style is the carrying which carry the pollen tube from stigma to the ovary. In the similar way, androcium is divided into three parts, and the upper part, that is the anther, is the fertile part. Mature anther having the pollen grains. Pollen grains transfer from anther to the stigma, and this process is known as pollination. When you cut the section of the ovary, you will find out the structure. The outermost layer is the ovary wall, then locule, then ovule, and ovule is attached with a small stalk known as placenta. The mature ovule form the seed, and the seed is covered by the ovary wall. Mature ovary form the fruit, and that fruit is known as true fruit. Means if the fruit formation takes place from the mature ovary, that is known as the true fruit. Where the fruit formation takes place from other part of the plant rather than the ovary, that kind of fruit is known as false fruit. For example, apple. Apple is false fruit. So I am talking about the naked seed, means the seed is covered with the fruit wall or covered wall. That is why this angiosperm is known as the covered seeded plants. Evolution of plants from the green algae. A certain group of green algae known as charophytes have the following in common with the plants. Chloroplast of both have thylakoids, stacks as grana and chlorophyll B, and carotene to act as necessary pigment for chlorophyll A. The percentage of cellulose in both is around 25%. Similar mitosis and cytokinesis mechanism is present in both the cases. Similar sperm structure for the sperm are there. DNA evidence back this up. Body of the some charophytes is haploid, but fertilized egg is retained in the organism and grow, and then does meiosis. Alternation of generation is also started. Land plants evolved from green algae. Researchers have identified green algae called Charophycean as the closest relatives of land plants. Morphological and biochemical evidences. The many characteristics of land plants are resemble with this group. Also appear in a variety of algal clades. There are 4 key traits that land plants share only with the Carophyceans. Number 1, rod shape complexes of cellulose, synthesis, peroxisomes, enzyme, structure of flagellated sperms, and formation of phragmoplast. These are the 4 bases of the genetic evidence. Comparison of both nuclear and chloroplast gene point to Carophycean as the closest living relatives of the plants. Adaptations enabling the move to the land. In Carophycean, a layer of durable polymer called sporuline prevent the exposed zygote from drying out. The accumulation of traits that facilitate survival on land may have opened the way to its colonization by plants. Land plants possess a set of derived terrestrial adaptations. Many adaptations emerged after land plants diverged from their Carophycean relatives. Derived traits of plants. 5 key traits appears in nearly all land plants but are absent in Carophycean. These are apical meristem, alternation of generation, whorled spore produced in sporangia, multicellular gametangia, multicellular dependent embryos. Apical meristem and alternation of generation. You can see in the picture the apical meristem of root and shoot, in which the differentiation zone are there, and the first picture shows the apical meristem of the apex region. The alternation of generation, as I earlier told, alternation of generation means the gametophytic phase and the sporophytic phase comes alternate to each other. That's why it is known as alternation of generation. Whorl-spored multicellular gametangia and multicellular dependent embryos. Picture shows the different multicellular spore, gametangia and the multicellular dependent embryos. Whatsoever the age of the first land plants, those ancestral species gave rise to the vast diversity of modern plants. In this picture, you can see the different species of different group of plants. Land plants can be informally grouped based on the presence or absence of vascular tissue. An overview of land plants evolution. As I told you, when we are discussing about the classification of plants in the plant kingdom chart given by the Eichler, the evolution start from the algae, and the plant evolution, land plant evolution start with the Bryophyta, then Pteridophyta, then Gymnosperm, then Angiosperm. The life cycle of mosses and other bryophytes are dominated by the gametophytic stage. Bryophytes are represented today by 3 phyla of small herbaceous non-woody plants: liverworts, hornworts, mosses. Debate continue over the sequence of bryophyte evolution. Mosses are most closely related to the vascular plant because, as I earlier told, the bryophyte are divided into three groups. One is the liverworts, second is the hornwort, third one is the mosses. So liverworts are the most primitive bryophytes, whereas the mosses are most advanced bryophyte, which is near to the pteridophyte. That's why it is closer to the vascular plant, that is pteridophyte. Bryophyte gametes. In all three bryophytes, gametophytes are larger and longer living than the sporophyte. Gametophytic is independent and dominate over the sporophyte. The life cycle of moss, you can see in the picture, the male and female reproductive structure, that is Antheridia and Archegonia are there, and in Antheridia there is the anthrozoid formation takes place, and in case of the female plant, means in case of Archegonia, egg cell formation are there. Egg and anthrozoids are fused together and form the zygote and then form the embryo. This picture shows the distinct alternation of generation. Means one way when the fusion of two gametes are there, and in another way the meiosis takes place. So from meiosis to the fusion, one phase is there, and on the another side another phase is there, means gametophytic phase and sporophytic phase. Sporophytic phase is diploid and gametophytic phase is haploid. Bryophytes, gametophyte produce flagellated sperm in Antheridia, and ova is produced in the Archegonia. Generally forms ground hugging carpet and are at most only a few cells thick. Some mosses have conducting tissue in the center of their stem or axis and may grow vertically. The conducting tissue is known as the columella. Bryophyte, sporophytic phase of the bryophyte, the grow out of Archegonia, and sporophytic phase are the smallest and simplest of all extant plant groups, consist of fruit, seta and sporangium or capsule. Fruit is the base part which is attached to the thallus, and seta is in between the sporangium or in between the capsule and fruit. Hornwort are moss sporophyte, have the stomata. The diversity of bryophyte, you can see the picture, this first picture showing the Markensia, which is having the reproductive structure Archegonia and Antheridia. Archegonia and Antheridia is developed on the Archegoniophore and Antheridiophore. Then second is the another, third one is the hornwort known as the Anthoceros and the Polytrichum. Different diversity of the bryophyte. Ecological and economic importance of mosses. Sphagnum, which is commonly known as peat moss, is very economically important. The form extensive deposit of partially decayed organic material known as peat, which is very useful and also used as fuel and play an important role in the earth carbon cycle. Even it is used for the preservation of the human body. Fern and other seedless vascular plants formed the first forest. Bryophytes and bryophyte-like plants were the prevalent vegetation during the first 100 million years of plant evolution. Vascular plants begins to evolve during the Carboniferous period. Life cycle with dominant sporophytes. In contrast with the bryophyte, sporophyte of seedless vascular plants are the larger generation, as in the familiar leafy fern. The gametophytes are teeny plants that grow on or below the soil surface. This is the life cycle of the fern. If you compare the life cycle of the fern with the bryophyte or the moss, in this case the sporophytic phase comes first and gametophytic phase comes later on. The sporophytic phase is dominated over the gametophytic phase, whereas in case of the bryophyte, gametophytic phase independent and dominate over the sporophyte. Transport in xylem and phloem. Vascular plants have two types of vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Both are the conducting tissue. Xylem conduct most of the water and minerals, including dead cells called tracheids. Phloem distribute sugar, amino acids and other organic products consist of living cells. Evolution of roots. Roots are organs that anchor vascular plants, enable vascular plants to absorb water and nutrient from the soil, may have evolved from the subterranean stem. Evolution of leaves. Leaves are organs that increase the surface area of vascular plant, hereby rupture more solar energy for photosynthesis. Leaves are categorized by two types, microphylls and megaphylls. Microphylls are having the single vein, whereas megaphylls with highly branched vascular plants.
With this note, we would like to thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. I hope that this part of this lecture would have done, or there is anything left.
Something is left basically. We will continue in the next lecture, because
definitely
it's a series of the lecture. We can't finish the diversity of the plant.
Definitely, this is a very wide area, and as we have said to you that we are conducting series of lectures on diversity of plants, and from where we have left, we would be continuing from it in the next very lecture in very near future. So with this note, I would like to thank Dr. Suresh Kumar for being the part of this session of ours. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.